very good afternoon and welcome to Africa Today. I am Uduak Daniel. First, let's talk the headlines. And on the headlines, INEC to meet Ganduje Ortom over 2023 elections. Still on the headlines, Ghana disowns unauthorized advisory against travel to Abuja. Also on the headlines, WHO announces clinical trials of Ebola vaccine in Uganda. And on sports, CAF announces dates for remaining matches ahead of 2023 AFCON. And now the news in detail. The Nigerian Executive Council, that is the NEC, has approved over 8 billion naira for the country's education sector. Minister of Education Adamu revealed this while briefing the media at the end of this week's media meeting of the council on Wednesday, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. He said the amount covers the cost of printing of sensitive and non-sensitive materials for the National Examination Council, that is the NECO, as well as perimeter fencing for the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. He further disclosed that the council also gave approval for the procurement of 18 ambulances for some unity schools spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Concerning the half work, half pay issue with ASU, Adamu also said the federal government will not be compelled to pay for work not done. The minister spoke at the end of this week's Federal Executive Council meeting.
The strike has been called off and the government has paid them what is due to them. Well, I think that's the position of the government, that it is not going to pay anyone for work not done. And they only did, I think, the number of days that they were paid. But if you know the meaning of a casual worker, it is impossible to make a university lecturer a casual worker.
And away from that story to electioneering matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, will meet governors, security agents, and some presidential candidates ahead of the 2023 general election next Tuesday. This was disclosed in a statement on Wednesday by the organizer of the program, Edwin Olofu. Olofu stated that participants at the roundtable would debate how the country could achieve a credible and violent-free election next year. The statement also said that Al-Mustafa would deliver a keynote address on the theme Contemporary Security Challenges and its Effect on 2023 elections. An interactive session slated for Abuja will have the INEC Commissioner for Information and Voter Education in the person of Festus Kokoye, Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, his counterpart in Bauchi, Bala Mohammed, Benue Governor Samuel Ortom, and the Inspector General of Police, that is the IGP Usman Baba, in attendance. 2 people were killed after a vehicle in the convoy of the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Bauchi State, Nuhu Zaki, collided with a motorcycle. The Senator or Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, that is the FRSC, Bauchi State Command, Yusuf Abdullahi, confirmed the incident to our correspondent on Thursday. He said the government vehicle collided with a commercial motorcycle ridden by one Mohammed Mwaiwiya. The accident, which occurred on Wednesday at the Mia town along Mia Warji in Warji local government area of the state, involved 5 male adults. The victims were immediately rushed to the Kafing Madaki General Hospital by the Commissioner, where 2 people were confirmed dead. 1 other person sustained bruises and fracture in a fatal crash. Abdullahi said that the fatal crash was caused by speed violation, which led to a loss of control. Still talking more stories, Africa Today, that is, the president of the Nigerian Senate, Ahmed Lawan, says the legislature will continue to support the nation's armed forces to overcome security challenges in the country. Lawan made the pledge during the launch of the emblem for the 2023 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday in Abuja, the nation's capital. He further pledged that the legislature will also give its financial assistance to the families of fallen heroes and veterans. In a related development, a mild drama played out at the Senate's chambers during plenary when lawmakers debated the CBN's policy to redesign some Naira notes. The session turned rowdy following a point of order raised by the chairman, Senate Committee on Financial Institutions, Senator Uba Sani, urging the Senate to throw its weight behind the policy.
Mandate the Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions to embark on an
action. The senator representing Ekiti Central, Biodun Olujimi, warned of the economic effects and asked the CBN to extend its deadlines.
1 month and a half is extremely short for what we are about to do, because if you withdraw 1 trillion from this economy at once in a month, the ripple effect will affect everybody.
However, the senator representing Benue Northeast, Gabriel Seswam, said since the CBN governor did not consult the Senate, there was no need for interference.
Then there was no consultation. After the printing has commenced, the president has approved as a legislative support. It will be ridiculous for us to go ahead and do that. Let him go ahead and do what he's doing.
News coming your way will be coming from the West African country of Ghana after this timeout. Don't go away. Always a delight to have you back. This is Africa Today on Hills TV. In other developments, Ghana has disowned a security advisory issued on Wednesday warning her citizens from traveling to Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, that is the FCT, Abuja. In a rejoinder tweeted on Thursday morning, the government declared the statement was unauthorized, regretting the inconveniences it may have caused. The Wednesday notice carried the name and logo of the Ghanaian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. It indicated that Nigeria asked some hotels to close, citing the directive by local authorities to hotels operating in residential buildings to shut down. It also said there was a high danger of terrorism, criminality, intercommunal conflict, armed attacks, and kidnappings. And now let's take you to yet another case in point. African Union Commission, that is the AUC, has called on partners to enable its implementation of the Green Recovery Action Plan, that is the GRAP. Speaking at a roundtable dinner on the sides of the ongoing COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, Commissioner Josepha Sako of the AUC told partners that their support is crucial to turn the GRAP into reality. Senior African Union Commission official Josepha Lionel Correa Sako also emphasized the need for support to advance this important agenda. Highlighting the flagship nature of the GRAP, Commissioner Sako told partners gathered for the dinner that collective action is needed to implement the GRAP effectively. She invited African countries to co-champion the pillars of the GRAP. The Green Recovery Action Plan, that is the GRAP, is a policy developed by countries to tackle the combined challenges of COVID-19 recovery and climate change. It focuses on critical areas of joint priority, including climate finance, renewable energy, resilient agriculture, biodiversity, and resilient cities. Let's now take a walk to other parts of Africa. Don't go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The United Nations Human Rights Commissioner Volker Turk has urged Sudanese factions to reach an agreement to end worsening political and economic crisis which deepened following last year's military coup. Volker reaffirmed the right to peaceful assembly during a press conference held in Khartoum on Wednesday.
Any transition is delicate, and in Sudan we are at a particularly delicate stage of this transition. So I really call on all sides who are involved in the political process to go the extra mile to work towards prompt restoration of civilian rule in the country.
Talks between Sudan's main civilian bloc, the Forces for Freedom and Change, and the military have been ongoing for weeks in the latest bid to break the deadlock following the 2021 military coup. Its Human Rights Commissioner concluded his first official visit to Sudan. The crackdown on anti-coup protest has killed an estimated 119 people. And on to matters that concern the WHO, the World Health Organization, that is the WHO, announced on Wednesday that 3 trial vaccines for Ebola will arrive in Uganda next week. The announcement was made during the G20 meeting in Indonesia by WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Today, I'm pleased to announce that a WHO committee of external experts has evaluated 3 candidate vaccines and agreed that all 3 should be included in the planned trial in Uganda.
Also speaking, the WHO Health Emergencies Director Michael Ryan says it also clear from Congo experience that you can get to control much quicker using effective vaccines.
We hope, I dearly hope that this epidemic goes away, and this epidemic is controllable without vaccines. It's clear that we can get to containment without vaccines, but it's also clear from the Congo experience that you can get to control much quicker using effective vaccines, and they're the answers we need to get.
An Ebola outbreak in Uganda was declared in late September. Since then, Ebola claimed at least 55 deaths. 2 of the 3... Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. This is the Business Desk on Africa Today on Hills TV. Talking business, federal government has identified about 213 gas blocks that are open for investments. According to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, that is the NUPRC, the gas blocks were located in the Niger Delta, Anambra, Benue, Tro, Bida, Chad, Dahomey, and Sokoto. Adding that 69 of the blocks were discovered in the Niger Delta Basin, 12 in Anambra, 41 in Benue Tro, 17 in Bida, 40 in Chad, 6 in Dahomey, and 28 in Sokoto. It stated that further exploration of the other Cretaceous basins would deepen and realize the potential for Nigeria to triple its gas reserves by 2050. Already, the country has 60 gas basins under the oil prospecting licenses. 44 are in the Niger Delta, 5 in Anambra, 2 in Benue Tro, 6 in Chad, and 3 in Dahomey. Away from that story, still talking business, the Minister of State for Transportation, Ademola Adegoroye, has promised to facilitate the support of the federal government of Nigeria for female professional and commercial drivers in the country. The minister made the promise when he received the leadership of Female Drivers Association of Nigeria, that is the FEDAN, in his office in Abuja on Wednesday. According to a statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the minister, Ebenezer Adeniyan, he said that the female commercial drivers are special and must be encouraged to flourish in their chosen profession. Adegoroye further noted that the Federal Ministry of Transportation will look into the request of the association to have female professional drivers employed into the ministry, stressing the need for government to give the needed recognition to female drivers. Speaking earlier, the president of the association, Eunice Odege, said FEDAN was formed to bring all women professional drivers and automobile workers together under one umbrella to promote their interest and to deal with their challenges. Still to come on Africa Today Sports. Do stay with us.
afternoon and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I am Memo Cynthia Asoya. Now to sports. Hosts Bayelsa United were on Wednesday held to a goalless draw by Doma United of Gombe in the opener of the Nigerian National League, that is the NNL, Super 4 tournament at the Samson Siasia Stadium in Yenagoa. The 2021 Aito Cup champions created several scoring opportunities in the first half, but were unable to convert their chances despite having full control of the game. In a post-match interview, technical advisor of Bayelsa United, Depraya Tebowe, commended the opponents for their doggedness but attributed the draw to his side's wastefulness in the vital areas. Doma United coach Akin Olubade noted that his boys gave their best, pointing out that they have studied the Prosperity Boys pattern of play prior to the encounter. Also, Bayelsa United captain Gabriel Biriduba said he was not disappointed by the result, expressing confidence of victory against Insurance. Actions returns on Thursday. The first match of the day will see Doma United up against El Kanemi Warriors of Bayelsa State as Bayelsa United square off with neighbors Bendel Insurance by 4 p.m. Away from that, to Super Eagles coach Jose Peseiro has cleared the air of the absence of the Napoli striker Victor Osimhen from Nigerian international friendly match against Portugal. In an interview with newsmen, the Portuguese gaffer stated that Napoli have contacted the NFF on why the striker would not be available for Thursday's friendly match.
And the doctor from Naples sent one report. Okay, I have the report, but I don't show it. But the doctor, our doctor, can show the report that he needed 10 and 15 days for recovery. It's happened with other players. What I can do. Of course, I would like to play with Osimhen.
According to Peseiro, doctors from Napoli said that Osimhen is not fit. Even in the last club game, he felt pains in the back. Victor Osimhen was one of the invited players for the friendly match against the Seleção of Portugal on Thursday, but withdrew from the team due to injury. African Soccer ruling body has announced the date for the remaining qualifiers of the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. The football body late Wednesday evening announced the resumption of the qualifier, and match days 3 and 4 will come up on March the 20th and 27th, 2023. Match day 1 and 2 of the qualifiers were held in the mid-year of 2022, while match day 3 and 4 were slated for September before it was suspended. Match day 5 is also slated for June 12th to June 20th, while the final match is scheduled for September 4th to 12th, 2023. The suspension came after the competition was moved from the summer of 2023 to January to February of 2024. And that's your sport news on Africa Today. Back to Udwak Daniel for the rest of the news. I am Memo Cynthia Asoya.
Memo Cynthia Sawyer, a delightful finish there on sports. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now let's get to the rest of the news. Former United Nations Senior Governance Advisor Boffer Agyeman-Duah says he is hoping that in the coming days the finance minister would quietly resign from his position or the president would terminate his appointment. Speaking during an interview with Newsman, Agyeman-Duah noted that should the ongoing stalemate happening in Ghana's parliament over the vote of censure continue, it may negatively affect the country's financial relations with the outside world. According to him, their refusal to do so could possibly lead to the country into a constitutional crisis, which could further exacerbate the economic crisis in the country going through. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is currently facing a vote of censure motion filed against him by the minority side in the parliament over accusations of corruption and gross incompetence. Duahu has described the formation of the 8-member committee as a face-saving measure by the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, to pacify both factions of the House, says the entire hearing process is unnecessary. And that's Africa Today, but before we go, a quick look at our top stories. We told you INEC to meet Ganduje Otum over 2023 elections. We also told you Ghana disowns unauthorized advisory against travel to Abuja. We brought to the fore the fact that WHO announces clinical trials of Ebola vaccine in Uganda. And on sports, CAF announces dates for remaining matches ahead of 2023 AFCON. Remember to visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel, all at Hills TV. I am Uduak Daniel. Thank you for watching.